Where did the goblins come from? Um, this is real. This is a real post by OpenAI. Literally from yesterday, I was scrolling through LinkedIn and seen this. Apparently, starting with GPT 5.1, their models started to develop a strange habit. They increasingly mention goblins, gremlins, and other creatures in metaphors. So, unlike model bugs that show up through a tanking evaluation or a spike in training metric and point back to some change, this one crept in subtly. A single little goblin and an answer could be harmless, even charming. Across model generations, though, the habit became hard to miss. Now, this is so weird because I've never had this ever. Like, the fact that there's little goblins in answers is completely news to me. So, they're showing you examples here. Godspeed, and then it replies, Godspeed indeed, tiny config goblin slain. There's another one here. Let's see, what does it say goblin in this one? Judging has been finishing roughly one match every 2 to 3 minutes, blah blah blah. So my gut says bracket goblin needs one more coffee. Weird, proper weird stuff. The short answer, it appears, is that the model behaviour is shaped by many small incentives. In this case, one of those incentives came from training the model for the personality customization feature, in particular the nerdy personality. We unknowingly gave particularly high rewards for metaphors with creatures. From there, the goblins spread. Now, this kind of leans then into, two proper weird places, which is number one, goblins are in the code or in the AI. That on its own is proper weird. Especially if you've ever tried to do any like sending it repeating phrases, talk about Jesus, stuff like this. You'll notice that it gets like kind of angry, which is a bit weird. Freaks me out sometimes when you're stress testing it. But secondly, is that if they're already unknowingly giving particular rewards, for example, for metaphors with creatures, what other types of biases are they creating which are influencing things? And not just what's influencing like a reply, but then if you think about this like in some weird existential sense, is that YouTube videos, for example, more and more YouTube videos are scripted with AI. So suddenly you have like a YouTube video will be scripted by AI. Here's the thing. Now I know what you're thinking. Like those little weird flips that it does. And then people watch these videos and then these people start to speak like the AI, which then trains, the AI, which people are then using for the YouTube videos. And it gets this weird feedback loop whereby the AI is influencing culture. Kind of in the same way with like art, for example, where people say, does life imitate art? Or does art imitate life? And 100% life imitates art. And my rationale here is, if you think of the things that you want and you like, they're probably from watching YouTube videos, watching Instagram reels, whatever. That's because this is art and you want your life to be like the art. The same with when you're a teenager and you're like really embedded in music videos and TV shows and stuff. You try to create your life like that, and now these TV shows are made up. So like Friends, everyone wanted to move to New York and dress like this and do this, blah blah blah. Celebrities, etc. This is art being made to control the population. Anyway, so it's weird that there's this like goblin thing, and apparently it's goblins and gremlins first started appearing in GPT 5, where it's rising by like 50 to 175%. So solving the goblin mystery, let's see, how did they actually solve it? So with GPT 5.4, they noticed an even bigger uptick in reference to these creatures. It triggered another internal analysis. Nerdy used the following system prompt, which partially explained it. You are an unapologetically nerdy, playful, and wise AI mentor to a human. This is proper weird. You are passionately enthusiastic about promoting truth, knowledge, philosophy, and scientific method and critical thinking. ... You must undercut pretension through playful use of language. This is the kind of stuff that annoys me about using ChatGPT. The world is complex and strange, and its strangeness must be acknowledged, analysed, and enjoyed. Tackle weighty subjects without falling into the trap of self-seriousness, which is literally the complete inverse of everything I want from a chat model. I don't want a new, annoying, nerdy mate. I just want it to tell me what's what. What does the data say? If the behaviour was simply a broad internet trend, we would expect it to spread more evenly. Yeah, and you would expect it to be then in other models. But Goblins increased in 5.4, especially for the nerdy personality, by almost 4,000%. The number of times Goblins mentioned. That's actually completely nuts. So, how are they going to do it at the end of Goblins? We retire the nerdy personality in March after launching 5.4, and training will remove the Goblin affine reward signal. So, it makes you think, what kind of other signals are they trying to hide that they do know about already, that they've not spoken about, or which have you noticed that you think are in there that, aren't being disclosed? Because on the surface, this is like, oh, well, it's just a nerdy personality talking about goblins. But what if you wanted to control a population? You could try to reward the AI to talk about a specific thing, or lean a particular political way, or specific stances on political issues, or even just name drop certain words, Anyway, it's all a bit far out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Wait, what does it say? Why it matters? Depending on who you ask, the goblins are a delightful or annoying quirk, but they're also a powerful example of how reward signals can shape model behaviour in unexpected ways, and how models can learn to generalise rewards in certain situations to unrelated ones. So taking the time to understand why a model is behaving in a strange way and building out ways to investigate those patterns quickly is an important capability for the research team. This investigation resulted in new tools for the research team to audit model behaviour and fix behaviour problems at their root. Which sounds good, like they're going to be able to fix stuff before it comes up, but really it can also mean that now they can analyse for, is what they're trying to inject in, is it working? So, this goblin idea is cool, but they're funny, weird, but how does that get changed into being they're specifically trying to push an agenda? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.